one of the big focus in the last few months by the president's kind of this thing has been opening up for the public, like getting more citizen engagement with the different kind of online as well as physical properties of the president, and basically really opening up to the public. That's been a theme. So can you share a little bit on what all has happened in that direction? Because काफी सारी action है पिछले कुछ महीनों में. So
the president often says that this is not Rashtrapati ka ghar, this is Rashtra ka ghar, sabhi ka ghar hai. So, and she definitely doesn't need that kind of space which is there in Rashtrapati Bhavan in Delhi and the other estates in different states. So her philosophy, her vision has been very simple: to bring more and more people to the Rashtrapati Bhavan and other bhavans throughout the country. So with that in mind, what we have done is to sort of make it more accessible, to demystify the Rashtrapati Bhavan. So now by click of a button through online means, people can actually register their visit to Rashtrapati Bhavan and then move inside seamlessly by visiting different districts or different kind of circuits which we have in Rashtrapati Bhavan in Delhi. So in Delhi, we have a circuit for Rashtrapati Bhavan itself.
The main building.
The main building. Then there is a Rashtrapati Bhavan Museum, which was built up a few years ago. And then there is a highly renowned Amrit Udyan, which is part of Rashtrapati Bhavan. So this year, we have been able to attract more than 10 lakh people in Amrit Udyan.
Vis-a-vis earlier, how
so pre-COVID times, we used to get something like 5.25 lakh of visitors every year. So what we have done is we have, of course, we are doing online registration, and people who are coming without registration, they can actually register then there and enter. So this year we are going to open it again during the monsoon season between mid-August and mid-September.
which didn't used to happen earlier. पहले एक ही बार खुलता था.
पहले एक ही बार खुलता था. It used to be open only for 1 month in a year, maximum 30 to 35 days. But this time it will be 90 days in a year. And then one very special thing which we did this year during the month of March was to attract thousands of people who come from very special categories, like people who are farmers, people who are working in army or police or in paramilitary forces, and plus thousands of persons with disability, including blind people. They came to Rashtrapati Bhavan in big numbers. Plus women folk from across the country who are part of self-help groups. They also visited in big numbers. And then we actually, we take this visitor management now more professionally, in the sense that we really care for their feedback. So we send SMS, we do IVRS calls, and then ask for the feedback, which is actually fed back into the system, and we sort of try to improve the experience of visitors. And then in terms of marketing also, we have been very aggressive this year by doing active publicity through Delhi Metro or through other means, through other online means. And then, of course, we have a separate handle, social media handle on different platforms for the visits to Rashtrapati Bhavan. So all these things have ensured that people are coming in big numbers, plus they have the best of experience coming to Rashtrapati Bhavan.
Okay.
In addition, Honorable President was of the view that the other Nivas, one Nilayam in Hyderabad and one Mashobra.
So President has an estate in Hyderabad where she would go once a year and stay. That is also now opening up. And you're saying another one in Mashobra near Shimla, which is also a presidential estate, so to say, which is also...
Yeah, so the Telangana one, the Hyderabad retreat was earlier open to public only for 15 days in a year, but it was closed throughout the year. But now it is the other way around, except during her visit, the Rashtrapati Nilayam house is open to public throughout the year. Similarly, the Mashobra one in Himachal, which is very close to Shimla, so it is now open throughout the year for public. So people in big numbers, they are coming to these places which are historic, has got a big legacy, and we have been able to create attractions inside these big estates so that people come and learn about our country, our history, heritage, and then about the institution of President of India. All these things we have been able to do.
Big drive. I've also heard that some governor houses are also now opening up. Just looking at this, there is some governors who have said we want to open up. Is that true, and is that a focus?
So taking cue from what the president did to all her estates, so governor of two particular Raj Bhavans I'm aware of. One is West Bengal, and then second is Himachal Pradesh. So respective governors, they have opened it for public throughout the year.
Well, that's interesting to see, and that's how you would expect in a democracy, that it's not fortified. In fact, it's open and anyone can kind of come. Of course, there has to be some structure to it. There has to be some security and all of that, but it's open to everyone. No, that's great.
Absolutely. So it is bringing more and more people, connecting people to the Honorable Rashtrapati Ji. So that is the thinking.
एक और चीज which has been a kind of a trend or a narrative, a focus of late is a focus on decolonization. The belief being that for a long time, people who came from outside of the Indian subcontinent, be it the British, be it others who kind of ruled here, because of that, there's been a kind of it's affected the psyche of the nation, and somewhere there's a mindset of being colonized that has gotten deep ingrained in us. And of course, there are external symbols of this colonization as well. And this was one of the things that the Prime Minister talked about from the Independence Day Red Fort, the Panch Pranas. One of them was decolonization. Any strain of that remains in us, it's important that we kind of take that out. And generally, at least the people that I speak to, and people can have different view, but people I speak to generally believe that yes, this is something that's important if we want to really move ahead with full force as a nation. Now, President's estate itself, the Rashtrapati Bhavan, is itself a colonial legacy in the sense it was built by the British, then inherited by us, and since then, of course, it's been Indian distinct, but it has a lot of elements of the past, right? So, are there changes that have happened in the last few years or happening right now, which are again kind of on this external symbols being more Indian as opposed to moving more colonial?
So first of all, Gaurav, I would not agree completely with you in the sense that this Rashtrapati Bhavan, which used to be called Viceroy's House or Government House when the British were here. So only the Viceroy came from the United Kingdom, and of course the celebrated architect was also an Englishman. Yeah. But if we look at the contractors who worked there, if we look at the people who are actually working on ground for many years, almost like more than 20-25 years. So they all were Indians coming from India only. So all material which was used to create this Rashtrapati Bhavan is Indian, and various, I would say, the features or the architectural style, it was mixture of different parts, different styles across India. So it is largely Indian, I would say, except that the Viceroy or the architect was coming from the United Kingdom. But then definitely over the years, there has been effort which has been further, I would say, accelerated to promote more of Indianness in terms of having sculptures, drawings, or different kinds of artifacts which are more Indian in nature. So that way, it is basically an Indian thing only. So, and plus, of course, we have all heard of the concept of drain of wealth, all these things. So all this money, wealth, was not coming from UK. In fact, it was the other way around. Our money was going to the United Kingdom. Yeah. So that way I would say, but yes, definitely the idea is to promote more of Indian culture and Indian systems, Indian architecture.
Yeah. So a couple of things that I noticed when I visited the Rashtrapati Bhavan last was, one was that in the dining area there used to be war kind of guns and other equipment that used to be there on the top. Now that's replaced by embroidery, very delicately done, in which you have Indian states being represented there. That was one thing that I noticed, which was very interesting. Another thing was all the rooms have been now named. I think this was at the time of President Kovind. All the rooms are now named against rivers in India as opposed. So these are some things, but I've also visited twice in different points in time. So these are some interesting things to note.
Absolutely. During the colonial area, it was projecting something else. So they made it so big, which had to be bigger than most of the palaces of Rajwadas in the country. So they were here to symbolize something else. But now, of course, it is majestic, it is very big, but it is more symbolizing our culture, the peace, the concept of peace, which we all believe in India. So it's a very different kind of, I would say, paradigm shift which has happened in Rashtrapati Bhavan over the decades. So which is, of course, a very welcome sign. And you know, our idea through the visitor management program is to actually showcase the Indianness, the history or the legacy. So all those things are very important. And then what we see is the visitors, particularly the college and school children, when they come, they really relish the kind of history which this place is showing. And then, of course, this place has been part of the Indian freedom struggle as well. So this showcases all of that. Yeah.
I'm the big proponent. I tell anyone coming to Delhi that if there's one place that you should visit in Delhi, it should be the circuit one or the main building of the Rashtrapati Bhavan. That's so much of history. There's so much of kind of just general pride once you kind of see that. So it's I'm a big proponent. मुझे लगता है सबको जो दिल्ली आते हैं देखना चाहिए.
Thank you, sir.